Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
We started from the bottom, now we hit. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we hit. We started from the bottom, now we hit.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we hit. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get.
All right, Clay. I always love being able to sit here, right here, in these wonderful green chairs, very
to
comfortable.
say that we're marinating together would be an understatement of how awesome this moment is.
These are green, right?
Yeah, they are green.
Okay.
Yoda green.
I'm colorblind, so I don't know for sure.
Hey, really?
Yeah, no, that's a real story. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, it's real. But I overcome difficulties in my life every day.
Okay.
So today we're here talking about the goal is to systematically exceed the expectations of your client.
Yeah.
When you do that, you have exponential growth.
Absolutely.
I know that this is something that you live by, and it infiltrates every area of your life.
Yeah.
A lot of that came from Napoleon Hill's book, correct?
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I read that book, and up to that point in my life, I had been somebody who liked to do what I was supposed to do, but I very rarely did more than I was supposed to do. I would say almost never did I do more than I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And now I kind of make it a habit to always try to do more than I'm paid to do.
Well, it's easy to fall into this trap of feeling good about and being complacent and feeling like you've accomplished something when you've done what you said you would do.
Yeah.
But you're asking us to go to a different level here.
That's the goal.
So let's jump down to these points. The first point that we're going to look at is finding out what your customer wants and then give them more than they expect, okay? So I got a notable quotable here. So this is from Sarah Blakely. Okay?
Yeah.
And she said, she's Spanx. She made the Spanx. You know,
She was the youngest woman to become a billionaire.
Wow.
Boom.
Okay, so we should listen to her
Yeah.
when she says, quote, I broke into an industry that was completely money focused. Nobody was paying attention to the women and thinking about how these undergarments felt or how they fit. I don't think of that often, really. It's not on
That's
my
something
mind.
you're
I don't think
pig-headed,
about it.
You don't think about it.
But nobody else was thinking about it either. So she continues to say, all of a sudden I showed up and charged more for one pair than anybody could comprehend. And women lined up in droves to buy them. I think I left the industry in shock, but I really believe that we needed to make it better, not cheaper. So the key here is what Sarah did is she realized that the niche that she was focused on didn't need a cheaper product. They wanted high quality product. And when she delivered that, it blew up.
Well, I think anytime we make a product, if you're watching this and you have a desire to make a product, we have some unbelievable trainings on Thrive that are going to be coming out here by Jill Donovan. This lady created the Rustic Cuff, which is a product that a lot of celebrities wear. And you know, I think a lot of people have this desire, this kind of fantasy to make a product that everyone in America is going to want to buy. But I'm telling you, if you'll make a product and go in with the idea that you're going to wow people and exceed their expectations and not just merely compete by having the cheapest price possible,
Right.
It's a lot more fun at that price point than when you are trying to compete with the cheapest price point.
I feel like we're doing that here with Thrive. We're trying to bring you guys content that is something you can't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
A different level of in-depth knowledge and excitement that's kind of fun and with an attractive pale man. I mean, nobody else is offering
There's
that.
a lot of places that are saying we'll offer an attractive pale man.
But they're
as
not
part of
delivering.
They're not delivering
Come
on
on.
it. Certainly not over-delivering what you're seeing here. This is not...
Okay, let's go ahead and move on here. Number 2.
We can stay there for
no,
a while.
No, we're moving along here. Number 2, aim to wow. Okay?
Bam.
So whether that's for products or services, you must always aim to wow.
Wow.
One of my favorite authors of the book Purple Cow,
Yep.
Seth Godin, he said, if you use your money to create exceptional products and services, you won't even need to spend it on advertising. He's saying that you need to invest up front in making this product knock the socks off of your clients and your customers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think the whole idea here is that if we make a product merely to satisfy, again, kind of going back to this concept, if we make them just to merely satisfy, then people are left to focus on price. There's a phrase that says, in the absence of value, all the customer's left to focus on is price. So we don't want to put our customer in a situation where they're going, well, looks the same. Let's just see let's go ahead and get the cheaper one.
This one's cheaper. Why not?
Let's go ahead. Let's try to make a product that's 2 or 3 times better than what's on the market today.
So that it never even gets to the price issue because the value is worth so much more.
If you're sitting there talking right now, if you have a product or service idea, and imagine competing with somebody, and imagine what your customer says, well, how do you stack up versus the competition? And what if you could say, like at Thrive, we say this.
Right.
Well, for less than you spend on cable, we're going to offer you world-class education. For, I don't know, college, if you go to a private school, you might have one world-class teacher or 2, but we have a whole host of world-class teachers, and it's not $30,000 a year or $35,000 a year. It's $50 a month.
Or think of how much you pay for a business coach to come in and work with your business.
A lot of times, business coaches charge $2,000 to $5,000 a month, and we're $50 a month.
Yep.
And you have a chance to win, and it's fun, and it's entertaining, and you can be mentored by millionaires, and there's a chance to come to a conference and a chance to win money, and it just doesn't end.
Right. The
So
value is mind-blowing.
And there's an app, and you can take notes on the app. And
Boom.
you get points for sharing, and I can keep going, but I'm not going
That's aim to wow. Okay.
Bam.
Number 3. Now we're getting into your hero here, Napoleon Hill. He said, "Over-deliver, and you will soon be overpaid." So that is point number 3 and our notable quotable all in one. What does that quote mean to you, Clay?
Well, the quote means that we have an obligation to ourselves, not to the customer, to ourselves, to over-deliver. We have an expectation to ourselves. If we want to get paid, as an owner, I would hope you do, you have an obligation to yourself to exceed the expectation of nobody else, okay? Of nobody else except that customer. You don't have to worry about your non-customers,
Right.
but you have to exceed the expectations of your customer, not for them, but for yourself. Because if you do this, if you exceed the expectation of the customer, then you are going to get paid a lot more. If you merely satisfy or merely do just what is needed, you're not going to get a huge paycheck.
How old were you when this resonated with you, when you understood this concept and
About
applied
20.
it? 20.
When I finally I quit doing the whole stinking thinking where I was like, well, I'm going to try to show up just on time, get it done just in time, get just enough. And I decided to make a conscious effort to always do more than I was expected to do. I was about 20 years old.
Now, I don't know exactly how you did that in the DJ business, but I know I've seen you do it with the individual clients you've worked with, even speaking events.
Yeah.
Lots of times speakers show up, like you said, right on time or sometimes late, and as soon as their speech is done, they're out of there.
Peacing out.
You provide the whole day there for them. You give them a video afterwards. You always over-deliver, and you're doing it with Thrive.
And sometimes when I do speaking events, this is secret, sometimes I mail the customer hummus and beef jerky.
It's true. It's true. And Thrive, the initial Thrive subscribers receive some of this above and beyond treatment. Right?
I tell you what, our idea at Thrive is to wow you.
Yeah.
Not for you, but for me. Because I want to wow you. Because if I wow you, I know you're going to come back and bring friends. So we want to exceed your expectations in every way possible.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom. Number 4, if it's not duplicatable and scalable, it's not worth doing. This is something that you have hammered in our heads here. I'm looking around at the videography team, the editors.
Yeah.
You've hammered it in our heads so much that it's now a verb. We don't even have to say cool. We just say, dude, that's scalable. That's scalable.
And it's funny because you guys argue over whether things are scalable or not.
And we tattle. Hey, he's not being scalable.
He's not being scalable there, Daryl.
It's not scalable. It's not duplicatable. We know that's not allowed. If it's not scalable,
here's an
we can't do
example
it.
of what not to do. Now, there was years ago, I met a lady who made gourmet bakery items. And what she did is she built a product that was gourmet service. And she said, well, I'm the one who has to meet with every customer. I'm the one who has to make for the product to be good, I have to meet with everybody because no one makes it like I do.
Right.
I have to meet with every customer. I have to answer every phone call. I have to pay the bills. I have to. What she did is built a non-scalable duplicatable business. So what that does is it creates either two problems. One, you're going to have a job that no one wants because you don't get any days off and no one can fill in for you.
Right.
Or B, you have a hobby in which you don't get paid very much for your time committed to it. So either way, it's a bad deal.
How much was she saying that she was spending on each cake?
It was a staggering number.
I can't remember, but it blew my mind. You couldn't do it. Somebody at their wedding wasn't getting
hundreds and hundreds of dollars that were being spent on each gourmet item because of this belief that only this person could do it.
Correct. And Michael Gerber, he wrote the book, The Most Successful Small Business in the World.
Love it.
I think that's one of the best ones for this topic.
Yep.
If you are building your business and he believes you need to make it scalable from day one, you got to read this book. Would you agree?
Absolutely, absolutely. It'll change your life when you buy into the concept of creating a scalable and duplicatable workflow system from day one.
Exactly. Number 5 here, this fifth principle, you got to create a document. You got to document your system. Okay, you got to write it down, actually.
Apparently Moses did that too.
Oh yeah, he did.
He went back up. He went to the mountain. It was Mount Sinai.
Yeah.
And apparently the father of the planet, he gave him some rules, and he wasn't like, oh yeah, let me find something to write it with. Well,
I'll remember
we're
it.
all out. I'll remember.
I'll just remember
Come
it.
on down to the mountain, and other people are down there,
Yeah.
and they're saying, hey, Moses, what did he teach you up there? And then he's like, I don't recall.
There was 8 or 10 things.
There was 8 or 10 things. Some of the things were no. He apparently inscribed it into tablets,
There
or
you
at least
go.
that's what we believe he
Yeah.
did. And they called them the 10 Commandments, and we still have them today. Isn't that crazy? We remember stuff from thousands of years ago. That we still remember stuff. Why? Because it was written down.
So it's important that you define success, right?
Yep.
And then you document it.
Absolutely.
So with Thrive,
Yep.
before we were able to mass produce episodes, we had to make this workflow, right?
Yeah, and the workflow was tough to make.
And you had to sit down and ask yourself what a perfect episode would look like,
Yep.
and then go step by step on how to achieve that, then document it.
And we had to fail faster. Every time we ran into problems, we had to fail faster. My wife is a sweet angel of truth and justice and duplicatable coaching. She says to me, are we failing fast enough? And I'm like, I am not sleeping.
That's awesome.
I am not sleeping. I am. And she's like, I don't know, baby, I don't know if I asked that. I was just saying, are we failing fast enough?
That's
And
awesome.
I'm just like, what did you do? So, got like about 6 minutes of sleep and came back to the office.
There you go. I mean, you've got to document the system, or
You
else
have to.
it will not be replicatable.
It has to be replicatable. It's not a business. It's just a hobby. Or a job nobody wants.
It'll be totally worthless if you don't. So,
Boom.
number 6,
Yep.
your system must be repeatable and trainable.
Now, this is a little different because repeatable means that you can do the same thing over and over and over without much variation. Like same quality, high quality, high quality, high quality. Imagine an assembly line of cookies. Same cookie, same cookie, same cookie. The cookie cutter is the same every time.
And I immediately thought of even the boxes that we send out for speaking events, right? You have a system set up to where each item, I don't know, there's maybe 10 different items that we put inside of a box when you book a speaking event.
He's giving away all of our secrets. Note to everyone watching this.
That's how much we think of you.
Everyone watching this, just send him a complaint email, please.
But we've got it so that each time we book this, you get the box, you put this item in, then you put this item in, and there's a checklist, and we follow it every single time.
Absolutely.
It's trainable, it's repeatable.
Bam.
Again, Seth Godin said, the habit of doing more than is necessary can only be earned through practice.
You have to do it over and over because it doesn't even feel normal as a human to try to wow another human. I'll give you an example. I had a client today, a beautiful man. This guy is a great client. Love this guy. Just a great American. I really can't tell you how much of a pleasure it is to work with this guy. He's just a great father, great client, great person. He came in today. We gave him a gift basket with my newest book and a whole bunch of hoo-ha he didn't expect. I think we sent some pumice there, some beef jerky, and he was just going, wow. Like,
Nobody does that.
do you want something from me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's just, we're here to bless your socks off.
But then I'm telling you, he enjoyed it a
Yeah.
lot. And so it becomes it becomes a relationship.
Right.
And if you're not careful, then a customer becomes your friend. And a friend becomes your, like, somebody. Are you more loyal to friends than you are to just acquaintances? I would hope so.
Yeah.
So you probably, I bet if you're watching this right now, I bet you have one business that you're very loyal to. You
Right.
come back over and over and over. Why? Because there's free samples. Sam's has samples on Saturdays. Don't tell anyone.
I love it.
But you come back because of the free samples.
Right.
You come back because Starbucks has samples. They have new samples. You go to these places because they over-deliver. Sometimes Southwest Airlines gives you free drinks. The whole idea is that you come back to places that consistently exceed your expectations.
Absolutely.
Don't tell anyone, though, because if everyone begins exceeding everyone's expectations, we'll have to work really hard.
Number 7 here. You must condense value add into a series of checklists to be appropriately delegated. Number 7 here. You must condense value add into a series of checklists to be appropriately delegated. checklists are vital.
If it's not a checklist, it's just a oral tradition that will get mangled over time. You need a checklist, a specific written down, duplicatable process. Do step 1, do step 2, do step 3. If you don't do it, if you don't have a checklist, you are just going to absolutely lose over and over and over.
And a practical action step for you. This checklist, I mean, it's actually got to have a place for you to initial each item, right? I mean, we've talked with Lee Cockerell. If you haven't had a chance to look at his episodes, go watch his episodes.
Every time I watch them, I get inspired.
Whew.
Pumps me up.
It does. But he kept the bathrooms clean at Disney World, where he managed 40,000 people. They were cleaned, what, every 10 minutes or so?
There was 40,000 employees. It's not even possible.
He managed them all. Chick-fil-A, Arthur Greeno, another mentor here. He has a checklist for everything that his franchise does.
Chick-fil-A is controlled by aliens. It's not possible to keep a place that clean.
It is with a checklist.
Yeah.
So if you apply these 7 principles, you're going to be able to wow your customers, wow your clients, and it'll come back to you tenfold.
Yeah, and any of the secrets that I've been sharing kind of privately into the microphone, I appreciate if you wouldn't share them with anybody outside of Thrive, or just, keep it to friends and family.
That's fair.
And people you have relationships
Sure.
with, and people you'd maybe just met.
So just share it with only a couple of all of your friends.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. Well, thank you, Clay. I
Hey.
appreciate your time.
You are awesome, and you smell terrific.
Oh, that's too kind.
Well, these days, at the young age of 27 or however old you are now at this point, what are you most passionate about these days?
I think by the time I was 27, I had some pretty good successes. And I would say basically, I said to a guy one morning, I was talking to one of the housemen at Disney that moves the furniture around. We were talking Christmas coming. He said something about his job. I said, I love my job. I can't. Every night I go to bed and it's like Christmas Eve. I can't wait till the next morning. It's just so exciting to come to work. And he looked at me and said, "Man, you are a crazy person." And I said, "No, I love my job every day, even the tough times, solving problems, dealing with people, making guests happy, especially in our business, a lot of children. And there's nothing that makes parents happier than their children being happy.
Yeah.
So when you make children happy, you really make parents happy. I mean, they're just really
So
excited.
with what you're doing now, I mean, what has you passionate about doing these speaking events?
The main reason I love doing this, because people come up and say, "Thank you. I learned a lot today. I'm going to do that. I didn't know I could be a leader until you told me today. I never thought I could do that. It really helped me understanding what you've been through. I now get it." There's nothing like somebody appreciating you.
Yeah.
That's really the payoff. I mean, that's the payoff when somebody says, "Thank you, you really helped me." Or 10 years later, you get a call from somebody and said, "Lee, I just wanted to call and tell you how much I appreciate that day you sat down with me 10 years ago and straightened me out." I won't even remember them, but they'll never forget me.
I feel like as someone becomes more success, what you can do is you can become more self-absorbed and you can just buy yourself more things and more stuff, and you can focus on making or you can say, "I want to help other people become successful." And I feel like that's kind of where you've transitioned. You seem like you really want to help people out. By helping others, it kind of helps yourself almost.
It gives me great satisfaction, frankly. And, I think that's why teachers do what they do. I tell people, don't be the boss, be a teacher. Then you'll do the right things. If you're going to be the boss, you're not going to do the right things.
So why are you passionate about helping entrepreneurs? I mean, why are you passionate about going out and speaking to these guys who renovate bathrooms or why are you excited to go speak to healthcare professionals? Why are you so inspired to help out all these people?
Yeah, I wish you could be with me when I hear the feedback after one of these things. One guy wrote me last week from Bath Fitters, and he said, "Lee," I wrote him, I said, "How'd the conference go after I left?" He said, "It exceeded our expectations because you took what people think is a complex subject, leadership, management, customer service, and you simplified it for us. We are going to soar now. All my franchisees get it." They didn't get it because they make things too complex. So I just love it who doesn't like somebody when they say, "I love you"? You think your wife loves it when you say, "I love you, darling"? Of course she does. You think your children, when they say, "Daddy, I love you"? How much do you like that?
I love it. Absolutely.
It probably feels better than a golf score.
Absolutely.
And that's why, for me, and how are you going to leave a legacy? I mean, really, at the end of the day, you don't live forever. You can either die and just bend here, or you can leave a legacy where people are still talking about you.
The bottom of your email says "retired and inspired," and I know a lot of people, and I'm huge into this, but I know a lot of people that believe, well, hey, I'm going to take a job I don't really like. I'll probably stay there until I'm late 60s and hopefully retire, and then I'll just sit around and do nothing. And I don't really understand that. My whole thing is, let's enjoy our life. We only have one time. It's not a dress rehearsal. Let's try to do something big. Why are you inspired and retired?
I think the inspiration comes from helping others. I just tell you that over and over again. I keep kind of repeating the same thing.
Yeah.
Helping other people is inspiring when they appreciate it and tell you, you did something for me. I had one lady who wrote me and said, you saved my marriage after one of my talks. I called her and said, why? What happened? She said, you know, you talked about my own behavior, and I used to think my family was a problem. I went home and started being nice, and they noticed. My kids noticed. She said, I used to think they were the problem. It turns out I was the problem, and I just started changing my behavior slowly, and my whole life got better.
Well, final philosophy question for you is, Warren Buffett talks about how he has a book on investing that he refers back to whenever he's kind of in his time of where he doesn't really understand something, or he's trying to get back to the fundamentals. Do you have anything that's like your core fundamentals that you constantly go back to?
I don't think so much. I think I told you Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, but most of those principles are in my book now. And, what happens is I don't have to go back too often, because when you speak, you really learn more about yourself.
Yep.
When you speak, you're teaching.
Yep.
When you teach, you become the student, and you learn more. Every time I give a speech, on time management even, I get better at it myself, because I'm teaching what I believe is right, but sometimes I start slipping and I'm not doing what I'm teaching. And every time I say, I need to get back to that. I'm not thinking about this part of my life like I should. That's why I got back and healthy. 4 years ago, I was preaching it, but I wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
And then I just said, okay, that's it. And I started scheduling it.
It's awesome.
I scheduled it, and I lost 22 pounds. I'm in great shape. I'm about to be 70 years old. I'm stronger than probably anybody I know around, and I can pick up my 12-foot ladder and go in the house and do work, and I don't have a pain. And,
You're like a Chuck Norris.
It's like it had to make the decision to schedule it, because you don't get in shape sitting on the couch.
Right.
Or wishing you felt better. You got to do something about it. And I know that's kind of a theory of mine. You got, pick yourself up and go do it, or shut up, it's like.
Brian, how are you, my friend? Hey, I am excited. I am excited to talk about team member cloning, and I'm really excited to talk to you about this concept, because I know a lot of business owners are struggling to grow from 2 to 3 to 4. They kind of get stuck at 1 person or 2 or whatever. And if there's time later, though, in addition to talking about cloning, I'd also like to discuss. I made kind of a list of things I want to talk about today, if we have time. Black holes, chemtrails, unicorns, Monsanto, time travel, genetically modified food. But first, let's just start with cloning. Let's just start right there, and we'll get going. So first off, what is team member cloning, my friend?
Well, obviously, Clay, I'm not talking about making more people. I'm talking about the process of finding someone who shares a relatable passion and drive with you that you can bring into your business and begin to mentor them to buy in not only to the vision that you have and the goal you have for your business, but ultimately possibly train this person to do the very same job you do.
Okay, real talk. I want to ask you this, because I know there's people watching this right now who are a little bit, this is just, I want to, they're going to say, but you don't understand. I own a haircut business. How can I find people that share the same values as me? What do you say to that guy? Or someone says, you don't understand, I own a bakery, it's different.
I don't think it's different at all. I think no matter what business you have, if you need a team to do it, if you need other people to support you, you can either not do what we're talking about right now and have an average business, or you can do exactly what it takes and you can mentor these people. You can begin to clone yourself. If you're the person who's most interested in the business being successful, there needs to be more than one of you.
Okay, I'm going to read you this quote from Howard Schultz, the man who is best known for being the CEO and chairman of Starbucks. He says, when companies fail or fail to grow, it's almost always because they do not invest in the people, the systems, and the processes they need. Brian, why do you feel that most companies don't invest in their people, systems, and processes?
I don't understand the philosophy of not doing those things. I think that your people are going to treat your clients as good as you treat them. And so I think everything starts with the employee, with the team member. When you invest in them, they're going to invest in your business, and they're going to do that in ways that you never thought of because of you've gotten them to buy into your business. So they're just going to multiply your efforts.
Now, Brian, I've spoken to thousands of business owners, literally all around the country at speaking events. I've coached many of them. And I feel that a lot of people feel completely stuck in this area of finding, training, and managing good people. How did you first discover your system that you use today for cloning?
You know, my idea of cloning started when I realized that I was usually the best salesperson in my office and the person who cared most about the business succeeding. I'm the one that went home thinking about it. And I started to figure out, well, what if I could get people to buy into this deal to where we want to be the most successful insurance agency in the country? What if there were 10 or 11 of me and not just one? And then what I started to do is we started to recruit like-minded people. I started to recruit people that someday maybe wanted to sit in my chair. I started to recruit people that just had a drive and passion to win and succeed. They didn't want to punch clocks.
Okay, so I'm asking you for an ample example that my brain may not be able to handle, my friend, okay? So here we go. Let's say that I own a bakery, okay? Or let's say I'm in the automotive business. I'm in the automotive business. You know, I fix brakes, struts, oil, gas change. I serve popcorn. I got coffee. I've got the whole thing going on here. And walk me through the step-by-step process of cloning myself. What do I do first?
You know, I think you need to gain the trust of the people you're trying to mentor. And you do this by recognizing their victories. You do this by recognizing the effort that they put in. You do this by recognizing the things they're doing that they're not required to do. I like to do that in the moment. In my office, I like to carry on dialogue with you at just any time. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to have a traditional victory or make a sale. I'm going to hear you pick up the phone and make a good phone call. I'm going to recognize that just as well as I did if you made a sale. Because I'm going to build rapport with you, and I'm going to start letting you know that I need you and that you're valuable in my office. And if you're valuable and you feel that value, what you're going to start to do is return that with more effort than what's required.
Okay, so step number one is you're saying gain the trust of the people that you're mentoring by recognizing the little things they're doing.
Sure.
And then they're going to reciprocate with more effort.
Yes.
Okay, and what's step two?
I think you continue to teach them in real time. Show them respect and reward them. Show them rewards for progress and effort, not just big victories. You know, that's what we were talking about earlier. I think you continue to show them consistent behavior around how you feel about them and the value that they bring to your office or your team.
So step two is I'm going to teach them in real time, and I'm going to give rewards for the effort, you know, like actually trying, and the progress, not just for the big wins.
Sure.
Okay, what's step three?
Step three is I think it's important once you have their trust not to break it. I think what happens a lot of time in mentoring relationships is you get down the road and then you do something or say something to break that trust. So I think you've got to be very consistent every day, showing them exactly what you've been showing them. Continue to have a consistent relationship they can rely on so that they begin to trust you as well.
Okay, so step three again to review is you gain their trust, but you don't want to break it.
Sure.
Step four.
Let them break some stuff. You know, I tell every person I put on the phone that I've been training that there's nothing that they can do that I can't fix. So you got to let them try.
So it's okay to let people break some stuff. Sure. You're going. Eventually, you got to go. Hey, buddy, you got to get on the phone. You've got to in the automotive business. Be like, hey, buddy, you got to get up under there and change that oil like there's no tomorrow. You got to change that oil like it's your passion. And you just got to let them get on there and mess up some stuff.
Well, a part of being successful is being uncomfortable, and I think a lot of times you're going to end up doing things before you're really comfortable doing it.
Okay, so what's the next step?
You know, if you're successful in the process, there'll be more people in your organization that believe in you, less people just looking for a job, and that's what I'm looking for. I want people that aren't just looking for a job. My whole goal in this whole process of cloning myself is getting people that don't watch the clock to leave at 6 o'clock. You know, my goal is getting people that forget what time it is because of the goal. They're envisioning what they want to do. They're working just as hard as I am. And the key here is that they're doing it, and I'm doing it with them. I never hire anyone where I don't tell them first that I'm never going to ask them to do anything I'm not already doing myself.
So step 5 is I'm looking for people who aren't just looking for a job.
Yes.
Okay, what's my next step?
The next step is this relationship, you got to continue to foster it. To truly clone yourself, you have to maintain the relationship, and it can't be fake. If you're just building a relationship for someone that can give you something or produce for you, it'll be a short-lived deal. I think you're looking to, again, build a relationship even at times to where they're not doing anything good for you.
So okay. Now what's the next step then?
I continue doing the same.
Okay, now real quick, I want to review some steps I think you might have missed. Because I feel like, I'm looking and I'm going, I don't see this. So I'm going to throw out, I think a lot of business owners do this, and so I'm going to just do that. One is I don't see that, like, you gave yourself a big title and then ran around showing it to the employees. Like, look, I'm the boss. How come you didn't put that as a step?
We don't operate in titles. That's an old-fashioned way of doing business, I think, is bossing people around. I think ultimately people always know who the boss is. And if you have a respect-based relationship with your team, they know who that is too. But you can get the job done that way. But if you really want to go the extra mile, if you want to be the very best at what you do, you've got to learn how to have a relationship with that team member to where they want to do more than what they're required to do. Every time I mentor somebody, I tell them in the recruiting process, hey, if you want to own your own business someday, you're going to do lots of things in the next couple of years that you don't get paid a specific wage to do. You're doing it because you believe in the next level.
Okay, so let's say one more step that you might have missed. Okay, let's say that the job title thing, we're not going to do that one. One more step that you might have missed here. What about running around telling people you don't have time to train people because you're so busy growing the business?
That's going to get tough, and I know people that do that. The problem is that you're going to be preaching one thing but not doing it. I think if you want to have a successful business, and today we're talking to people who want to have the better business. They don't want to have just an average business. You're going to have to find the time to train people. If you're going to want them to do something, you've got to show them how to do it first and let them go do it.
Well, do you truly believe that any entrepreneur watching this right now, any thriver watching this who has the desire to train people, if they just follow those 6 steps, they can clone their staff?
No.
No.
Well, because I don't think that everyone out there is willing to risk everything to see if they can do it.
So only if you're willing to risk everything and you have the desire can you do it?
Exactly.
Okay. Brian, and a lot of people have been asking, mainly it's myself and then Mr. Bird, the videographer here. We want to know if we can come over and play Street Fighter 2. You've been selling a lot of stuff. You've bought a lot of things. Can we do that?
Absolutely.
Can we borrow your boat?
Yes, you can borrow the boat.
Okay, so can we bring the game on the boat?
If we can get that game on the boat, I'm in.
All right. Hey, thank you so much for coming here talking about cloning. And I have one final question, and I'll be done. It's a little off script, off the system. So if it ends badly here, we'll just try to cut this out and forget that it happened. What are your theories on chemtrails?
I don't know what a chemtrail is.
Well, I think denial is not just a river in Egypt. All right. Hey, appreciate it.
Thanks.
Take care.
JT, do you know what time it is?
4:10.
It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem, baby. Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma, June 27th and 28th. We've been doing business conferences here since 2005. I've been hosting business conferences since 2005. What year were you born?
1995.
Dude, I've been hosting business conferences since you were 10 years old, but I've never had the 2-time Heisman Award winning Tim Tebow come present. And a lot of people, have followed Tim Tebow's football career on the field and off the field. And off the field, the guy's been just as successful as he has been on the field. Now, the big question is, JT, how does he do it?
Well, they're going to have to come and find out because I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, Tim Tebow's going to teach us how he organizes his day, how he organizes his life, how he's proactive with his faith, his family, his finances. He's going to walk us through his mindset that he brings into the gym, into business. It is going to be a blasty blast in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Also, this is the first Thrive Time Show event that we've had where we're going to have a man who has built a $100 million net worth.
Wow.
Who'll be presenting. Now, we've had a couple presenters that have had $1 billion net worth in some like real estate sort of things.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we've had a guy who's built a service business and he's built over $100 million net worth in the service business. It's the yacht driving, multi-state living guru of franchising. Peter Taunton will be in the house. This is the founder of Snap Fitness, the guy behind 9 Round Boxing. He's going to be here in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma, June 27th and 28th. JT, why should everybody want to hear what Peter Taunton has to say?
Oh, because he's incredible. He's just a fountain of knowledge. He is awesome. He is inspired me listening to him talk. And not only that, he also has, he practices what he teaches. So he's a real teacher. He's not a fake teacher like business school teachers. So you got to come learn from him.
Also, let me tell you this, folks. I don't want to get this wrong, because if I get it wrong, someone's going to say, you screwed that up, buddy. So Michael Levine, this is Michael Levine. He's going to be coming. You say, who's Michael Levine? I don't want to get this wrong. This is the PR consultant of choice for Michael Jackson, for Prince, for Nike, for Charlton Heston, for Nancy Kerrigan, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times best-selling authors he's represented, including pretty much everybody you know who's been a super celebrity. This is Michael Levine, a good friend of mine. He's going to come and talk to you about personal branding and the mindset needed to be super successful. The lineup will continue to grow. We have hit Christian recording artist Colton Dixon in the house. Now, people say, Colton Dixon's in the house? Yes, Colton Dixon's in the house. So if you like top 40 Christian music, Colton Dixon's going to be in the house performing. The lineup will continue to grow each and every day. We're going to add more and more speakers to this all-star lineup. But I encourage everybody out there today, get those tickets today. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com. And some people might be saying, well, how do I do it? What do I do? How does it work? You just go to thrivetimeshow.com. Let's go there now. We're feeling the flow. We're going to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, you just go to thrivetimeshow.com. You click on the business conferences button, and you click on the request tickets button right there. The way I do our conferences is we tell people it's $250 to get a ticket.
Yep.
Or whatever price that you can afford. And the reason why I do that is I grew up without money. JT, you're in the process of building a super successful company. Did you start out with $1 million in the bank account?
No, I did not. Nope, did not get any loans, nothing like that. Did not get an inheritance from parents or anything like that. I had to work for it, and I'm super grateful. I came to a business conference. That's actually how I met you, met Peter Taunton. I met all these people.
So if you're out there today and you want to come to our workshop, again, you just got to go to thrivetimeshow.com. You might say, well, when's it going to be? June 27th and 28th. You might say, well, who's speaking? We already covered that. You might say, where's it going to be? It's going to be in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma. And so it says Tulsa, Jerusalem. I'm really trying to rebrand Tulsa as Tulsa, Jerusalem, sort of like the Jerusalem of America. But if you type in Thrive Time Show and Jinx, you can get a sneak peek or a look at our office facility. This is what it looks like. This is where you're headed. It's going to be a blasty blast. You can look inside, see the facility. We're going to have hundreds of entrepreneurs here. It is going to be packed. Now, for this particular event, folks, the seating is always limited because my facility isn't a limitless convention center. You're coming to my actual home office, and so it's going to be packed. So when? June 27th and 28th. Who? You're going to come. Who? You? I'm talking to you. You can just get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. And again, you can name your price. We tell people it's $250 or whatever price you can afford. And we do have some select VIP tickets, which gives you an access to meet some of the speakers and those sorts of things. And those tickets are $500. It's a 2-day interactive business workshop, over 20 hours of business training. We're going to give you a copy of my newest book, The Millionaire's Guide to Becoming Sustainably Rich. You're going to leave with a workbook. You're going to leave with everything you need to know to start and grow a super successful company. It's practical, it's actionable, and it's Tebow time right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Get those tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com.
Hello, I'm Michael Levine, and I'm talking to you right now from the center of Hollywood, California, where I have represented over the last 35 years 58 Academy Award winners, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times bestsellers. I've represented a lot of major stars, and I've worked with a lot of major companies. And I think I've learned a few things about what makes them work and what makes them not work. Now, why would a man living in Hollywood, California, in the beautiful sunny weather of LA, come to Tulsa? Because last year I did it, and it was damn exciting. Clay Clark has put together an exceptional presentation, really life-changing, and I'm looking forward to seeing you then. I'm Michael Levine. I'll see you in Tulsa.
James, did I tell you my good friend John Lee Dumas is also joining us at the in-person 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show Business Workshop? That Tim Tebow and that Michael Levine will be at. Have I told you this?
You have not told me that.
Oh, he's coming all the way from Puerto Rico. This is John Lee Dumas, the host of the chart-topping EOFire.com podcast. He's absolutely a living legend. This guy started a podcast after wrapping up his service in the United States military, and he started recording this podcast daily in his home.
to the point where he started interviewing big-time folks like Gary Vaynerchuk, like Tony Robbins, and he just kept interviewing bigger and bigger names, putting out shows day after day. And now he is the legendary host of the EO Fire podcast, and he's traveling all the way from Puerto Rico to Tulsa, Oklahoma to attend the in-person June 27th and 28th Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshop. If you're out there today, folks, you've ever wanted to grow a podcast, a broadcast, you want to improve your marketing, if you've ever wanted to improve your marketing, your branding, if you've ever wanted to increase your sales, you want to come to the 2-day interactive June 27th and 28th Thrive Time Show Business Workshop featuring Tim Tebow, Michael Levine, John Lee Dumas, and countless big-time, super successful entrepreneurs. It's going to be life-changing. Get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. James, what website is that?
thrivetimeshow.com.
James, one more time with more enthusiasm.
thrivetimeshow.com.
Shine, everything rides on tonight. Even if I got 3 strikes, I'ma go for it. This moment, we own it. I'm not to be played with because it could get dangerous. See these people I ride with. This moment, we own it.
Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the world's highest rated and most reviewed business workshops because we teach you what you need to know to grow.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
And now you may be thinking, what does it actually cost to attend an in-person 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show business workshop? Well, good news. The tickets are $250 or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, they're $250 or whatever price you can afford. I grew up without money, and I know what it's like to live without money. So if you're out there today and you want to attend our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop, all you got to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com to request those tickets. And if you can't afford $250, we have scholarship pricing available to make it affordable for you.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show. Today I'm broadcasting from Phoenix, Arizona, not Scottsdale, Arizona. They're close, but they're completely different worlds. And we have a special guest today. Definition of intelligence is if you agree with me, you're intelligent. And so this gentleman is very intelligent. I've done his show before also, but very seldom do you find somebody who lines up on all counts. And it's a Mr. Clay Clark. He's a friend of a good friend, Eric Trump. But we're also talking about money, bricks, and how screwed up the world can get in a few and a half hour. So Clay Clark is a very intelligent man, and there's so many ways we could take this thing. But I thought, since you and Eric are close, Trump, what were you saying about what Trump can't, what Donald, who's my age, and I can say or cannot say?
First of all, I have to honor you, sir. I want to show you what I did to one of your books here. There's a guy by the name of Jeremy Thorne, who was my boss at the time. I was 19 years old, working at Faith Highway. I had a job at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV. And he said, "Have you read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad?" And I said, "No." And my father, may he rest in peace, he didn't know these financial principles. So I started reading all of your books and really devouring your books. And I went from being an employee to self-employed, to the business owner, to the investor. And I owe a lot of that to you. And I just wanted to take a moment to tell you, thank you so much for allowing me to achieve success. And then I'll tell you all about Eric Trump. But I just want to tell you, thank you, sir, for changing my life.
But not only that, Clay, thank you, but you become an influencer. More than anything else, you've evolved into an influencer where your word has more and more power. So that's why I congratulate you on becoming. Because as you know, there's a lot of fake influencers out there too, or bad influencers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm glad you and I agree so much, and thanks for reading my books.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thrill for me today. Not a thrill, but recognition is when people, young men especially, come up and say, "I read your book, changed my life. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this."
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa. Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy. I'm originally from Tulsa, born and raised here. I went to a small private liberal arts college and got a degree in business, and I didn't learn anything like they're teaching here. I didn't learn linear workflows. I learned stuff that I am not using, and I haven't been using for the last 9 years. So what they're teaching here is actually way better than what I got at business school. And I went what was actually ranked as a very good business school. The linear workflow for us and getting everything out on paper and documented is really important. Like we have workflows that are kind of all over the place, so having linear workflow and seeing that mapped out on multiple different boards is pretty awesome. That's really helpful for me. The atmosphere here is awesome. I definitely just stared at the walls, figuring out how to make my facility look like this place. This place rocks. It's invigorating. The walls are super, it's just very cool. The atmosphere is cool. The people are nice. It's a pretty cool place to be. Very good learning atmosphere. I literally want to model it and steal everything that's here at this facility and basically create it just on our business side.
Once I saw what they were doing, I knew I had to get here at the conference. This is probably the best conference or seminar I've ever been to in over 30 years of business.
You're not bored. You're awake, alive the whole time. It's not pushy. They don't try to sell you a bunch of things.
I was looking to learn how to just get control of my life, my schedule, and just get control of the business.
Planning your time, breaking it all down, making time for the F6 in your life, and just really implementing it and sticking with the program.
It's really lively. They're pretty friendly, helpful, very welcoming.
I attended a conference a couple months back, and it was really the best business conference I've ever attended.
At the workshop, I learned a lot about time management, really prioritizing what's the most important.
Biggest takeaways are, you want to take a step-by-step approach to your business. Whether it's marketing, what are those 3 marketing tools that you want to use, to human resources.
Some of the most successful people and successful businesses in this town, their owners were here today because they wanted to know more from Clay, and I found that to be kind of fascinating.
The most valuable thing that I've learned is diligence, that businesses don't change overnight. It takes time and effort, and you got to go through the ups and downs of getting it to where you want to go.
He actually gives you the roadmap out. I was stuck, didn't know what to do, and he gave me the roadmap out step by step.
We've set up systems in the business that make my life much easier, allow me some time freedom.
Here you can ask any question you want. They guarantee it'll be answered.
This conference motivates me and also give me a lot of knowledge and tools.
It's up to you to do it. Everybody can
do these things, they're stuff that everybody knows, but if you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it for you.
I can see the marketing working, and it's just an approach that makes sense.
Probably the most notable thing is just the income increase that we've had.
Everyone's super fun, it's super motivating. I've been here before, but I'm back again because it motivates me.
Your competition's going to come eventually, or try to pick up these tactics. So if you don't, somebody else will.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us.
This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right?
So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood.
This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
So we really just want to thank you, Clay, and thank you, Vanessa, for everything you've done, everything you've helped us with. We love you guys.
If you decide to not attend the Thrive Time workshop, you're missing out on a great opportunity.
The atmosphere of Clay's office is very lively. You can feel the energy as soon as you walk through the door, and it really got me and my team very excited.
If you decide not to come, you're missing out on an opportunity to grow your business, bottom line.
Love the environment. I love the way that Clay presents and teaches. It's a way that not only allows me to comprehend what's going on, but he explains it in a way to where it just makes sense.
The SEO optimization, branding, marketing. I've learned more in the last 2 days than I have the entire 4 years of college.
The most valuable thing that I've learned, marketing is key. Marketing is everything.
Making sure that you're branded accurately and clearly. How to grow a business using Google reviews, and then just how to optimize our name through our website also.
Helpful with a lot of marketing, search engine optimization, helping us really rank high in Google.
The biggest thing I needed to learn was how to build my foundation, how to systemize everything and optimize everything, build my SEO.
How to become more organized, more efficient.
How to make sure the business is really there to serve me as opposed to me constantly being there for the business.
New ways of advertising my business, as well as recruiting new employees.
Group interviews, number one. Before we felt like we were held hostage by our employees. Group interviews has completely eliminated that because you're able to really find the people that would really be the best fit.
Hands-on how to hire people, how to deal with human resources, a lot about marketing, and overall just how to structure the business to how it works for me, and also then how that can translate into working better for my clients.
The most valuable thing I've learned here is time management.
I like the 1 hour of doing your business is real critical if I'm going to grow and change.
Play really teaches you how to navigate through those things and not only find freedom, but find your purpose in your business and find the purposes for all those other people that directly affect your business as well.
Everybody.
Everyone needs to attend the conference because you get an opportunity to see that it's real.